Welcome back. Ad investment Group M recently released its TYNY report that states that digital at 56% of all advertising spends and growing at 20% over last year is driving the growth of AdX in India. But what are the do's and don'ts of digital advertising? We are finding out from mFilterIt's CEO and founder, Amit Relan. Amit, welcome to CNBC TV18.
All right. Thanks, Shivani. Thanks for inviting me over.
So, Amit, there is no doubt that digital is bigger than ever, but while moving towards first-party data with the demise of third-party cookies, how, according to you, should brands move forward?
I think contextual is one key element. I mean, that's extremely important in terms of what is the context of the conversation. Like, for example, now if somebody can't reach me directly, but from my context, I am a male 40 plus working into an ad tech industry. Where would I actually be looking at? Second is your narrative. How are you putting up a narrative towards your customers? How does your brand outreach typically happens? That would also be element. I think I'm sure moment marketing elements also pop up, and there could be different elements. One could be like right now, from a tech standpoint, the Chat GPT is quite a lot in news. Like typically, Chat GPT will change the way people will interact and people will consume. So I think that's if you are a tech brand, and then can that Chat GPT element could be looked into.
So digital spend is increasing. What is the best way forward when it comes to measurement on digital? And how much transparency should clients expect in the coming days?
Okay, it's a good question. I think measurement is a holy grail. Essentially, transparency will play an important role, but measurement there are two issues with measurement. One is you would have technologies, but then second is there an awareness of that particular measurement? I mean, that's extremely important because typically the brands say I'm working with quite a lot of my publishers and everything is okay, and then I'm getting a certain returns and way they are measured. Now, from a viewability to viewability is something what people say that okay, viewability is something what you need to look at. But now, is viewability the only right metrics? Can I look at a click measurement? Can I look at a CTR? Can I look at actually if the click is coming from humans or bots? The whole Elon Musk has done quite a lot of awareness and education from that standpoint. There are bots. There are essentially bots. And hence that supply chain transparency comes into picture. That if you really want to get supply chain transparency, measurement is one by which you take a decision. But then if the supply itself is wrong, and the whole product decision goes for a toss. So it's a combination of this, but there is lots and lots of awareness required. And this is one subject which no one wants to talk. But I would say something is common sense. I mean, forget about tools, forget about third-party measurement providers like us. That's not important. But something is common sense. For example, if I get like on CNBC, if I get million clicks in one day, I mean, and if it is all coming from a specific location, if it is all coming from same devices, isn't that common sense? But I am very happy that I have 1 million views or 1 billion views or whatever. Is that the right measurement? You're measuring it. You're measuring certain transactions. Something is very common sensitive, and I think that is something what needs to be looked into. And with
but Amit, even if we apply that common sense, the ad industry is losing millions of dollars per day. Bots, ad fraud has been discussed extensively. How do you arrest that?
With inflationary pressures coming in, expected in 2023 globally, now every buck which is being spent, it's not a way of now there is only growth, but then there is efficiency also. Now, with this narrative, I think this should come in forefront. At least if there are leakages that can be prevented, and then there are measures. And I still say common sense again. Forget about any tools. If the brands can measure basic capabilities of their platforms, the directionally they can get sets. They have enough of analytics firepower available internally. And then third is there are remedy measures also given by the platforms. It's not the platforms don't give a remedial measures. Whether it is Google, whether it is Facebook, whether it is other large platforms, they also have to look at transparency as the core. Will they say it in open? And will they say this proactively? No. because there's a bit of a conflict of interest from that standpoint. But if I am the one or the custodian of the money and it's my money, do you allow leakages? You will not allow leakages. So I'm just saying there are tools and capabilities available in plenty, and we are also one of the solution providers in the space. But I would say this can be looked in, this can be addressed, but more questions needs to be asked by the brand. The more we ask, we would become better.
Sure.
And I also expect in conversations like this, where media plays its part, ensuring that there is education and awareness. There is enough education and awareness on B2C space that the consumer is siphoned, his money is siphoned off, or he had a phishing attack. There is enough of that material available. But from a B2B standpoint, with inflation aspects extremely vulnerable to external elements, so it's important that we do these elements. And globally, it's almost about a $90 billion plus problem. India is close to about 4,000 crores was lost last year.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yes, and we would say that there are two ways to look at it. One is, like, for example, I'm sure you would have seen every media top platforms are saying there's a less advertisement revenue coming in. That's one. Second is that there is inflation. Now, third is cookies are going away, so the context plays an important role. So if I combine all this, I think it's a very, very good elements to look at optimization. You can get better pricing deals with your platforms. You can push for better transparency. And then at your end, you can have protection mechanisms to optimize and control these kind of elements. So you can play this and you can advertise fearlessly in that manner.
And then add a dash of common sense to it. Amit, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.